counting me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I'm paying the cost, I'm in it to win, yeah. Refuse, mine, it can't be diffused. If you ain't thinking the same, then we playing by different rules. You can't see the vision, we living at different views. Until we complete the mission, keep getting up, never snooze. I walked a mile in my shoes, had the mind of a fool, chasing diamonds and jewels. Trust me, I was confused. Started minding my business and used my mind as a tool. Ended up finding my purpose and found the time to get to it. They told me I couldn't do it, they told me I couldn't make it. They sold it, could never break it. That's sadly mistaken. I need a piece of the pie, I want it so bad I can taste it. They told me like told me, keep on running toes, they gon' take them. Used to lose, built to win, applied myself, I felt it in. No time for the doubt, they counted me out, I'm getting it in, yeah. No time for no loss, I pay for the cost, I'm winning to win, yeah. Refuse to lose, I'm built to win, apply myself.
Back to CTC, I'm your gracious host, Carl, and I'm back for another episode. In this episode, we're going to wrap up the MSU football season, and we're going to talk about MSU basketball to this point. I got my boy with me, special guest. I'm going to introduce him in a second, but first I would like to ask that you leave a like, comment, share, subscribe. It helps the channel, it helps the network. It helps my channel, CTC, by way of the Refuse to Lose network. We also got so many shows on the network to offer. Like the main show that went live today at 7 o'clock. They normally go live between 7. Tuesday and Friday from 7 to 8:30ish. That ran a little late today. But that's featuring Joe, Tomo, and Dave. We got BWT, Baseball with Teddy. Baseball season around the corner. All your baseball needs, go to Teddy. I know you just dropped the episode recently about the NL and the AL West. Next, we got Unfazed featuring Joe and AJ every Tuesday, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. For all my guys on AJ time. So yeah, they wrapping up. Well, not even wrapping up. Football season is almost here, but you know, right now it's just football with them, especially because both of their teams are going at it in the NFC Championship game this Sunday. We got Dave's Doghouse, who had an episode through my Spartans, made them dogs. So shout out to Dave. He does highlights and lowlights of sports. We have RBO, Real Ballers Only, featuring Vaughn. NBA content through there. FFC, Fantasy Football with Coach Coombs. Fantasy season is over, but look out for that during the offseason and for the draft, things like that, free agency. We have In the Red Corner featuring Ty, Ricky, and Tomo. Boxing episodes there every other Sunday. I believe that's all the shows. And yep, that's all the shows the network has to offer. So please like, comment, share, subscribe to all those shows as well. If you like what you're listening to, stick with us. Now, again, I got my boy with me, MSU fan, MSU alum. We graduated the same year. He's been on the channel before. I got my boy. Hold on, let me get the sound effect ready for you. Got my boy Luke with me.
I appreciate the sound effect, man. I thank you for being so thoughtful and gracious, and it's a pleasure to be here.
No problem, no problem. You already know, man. Used to talk sports all the time back at Campbell, so gotta talk sports on the pod.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to talk about MSU football first, as much as it pains both of us to talk about this football season. I know I had high hopes for the team, and they let me down. This season hurt. Season before, wasn't really disappointed. A lot of turmoil, things that popped out of nowhere. But this year, I had high hopes. We had a coach. We had a quarterback. And we also had a 5-7 record with a 3-6 Big Ten record. Very disappointing year. Did not make a bowl game. It was to the point where when Marshall opted out of their bowl game because Charles Huff left the Southern Miss and everything, I said, don't pick us. We don't deserve a bowl game. And they didn't. They obviously went with then they went with Louisiana Tech, which was weird too. But yeah, just a downright bad season for MSU. So I'm gonna say this: a game that I wish we could have back. Obviously, the Boston College game. Definitely wish we could have had that game back.
Yeah, unfortunately, I spent money and flew out there to go see it because my wife is an alum of Boston College, so we thought it would be a nice little fun trip. And not only that, it rained literally from start to finish the entire day, from like sun up from sundown in Boston that weekend. So just soggy and, soggy sorrows while I was out there pretty much. And yeah, I mean, if you just watch that game on on silent and just checked into it, or just read the box score. We obviously should have won that game, and it was every bit of that frustrating too. A lot of turnovers, a lot of dumb plays,
lack of execution down the
lack
stretch.
of execution. Yeah, and there's obviously a bunch of games I think you could point to, or maybe a few, but that was definitely one of them.
That's the game I wish we could have back. That game, the Michigan game, I wish we could have back because that's a game that we were in, and I honestly think we should have won that game.
Yeah, another game I decided would be a nice little fun trip to go do, and lost that game too. And another close game. Aiden Childs and the offense were driving right down in the end zone. I was watching the game in, and I thought they had a chance in that game too.
I think we set up for 3 and missed. Yeah, didn't we set up for 3 and missed? Yeah,
we had to score a touchdown to tie it to put it into overtime, and I'm talking about to start the game. Oh, to start the game, yeah. We drove. I mean, we also just controlled that game. They drove right down the field. So and very odd too. After that game, that seemed to propel Michigan quite a bit from that point on because they finished the year stronger, maybe just as strong as anybody in the country. As unfortunate as it is, but yeah, kind of went in 2 different directions after that game. I think MSU lost,
destroyed us.
4 of its last 5, yeah, and from there on, I think Michigan, I think maybe was 5-1
they lost
after that too.
The only game they lost was Indiana. The only game we won was Purdue. Funny enough,
Purdue, yeah. So
Purdue 0 in Big Ten, so that's not it's nothing to hold your hat about.
And that game was really disappointing too. It was really midway in the midway of the season. You'd already given up that Boston College game that should have been a W on your schedule, and then the game right before Michigan, you actually looked pretty good against Iowa at home. I thought that was a big momentum game for some reason. Iowa's not like a world beater or anything, but they are a decent team, and we pretty much dog walked them at home pretty soundly.
And we held Johnson. We held him. He broke one run.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he broke a run, but we held him pretty good. And then so we were going into Michigan, and Michigan looked like trash. And I was going up to that game feeling really confident that we were probably going to win that game. And we played well again and just blew it. So it's kind of a, I don't know. There's just like a lot of football teams in the country this season could have gone 2 different ways. I think you could say that for a lot of teams, but obviously when you watch every game, you certainly you kind of had a 7-5, 8-4 season potentially in front of you, obviously, but they looked really bad in other games too, where you don't really know maybe if that's what it was. So
man, Rutgers, that looked horrible. It looked like we gave up.
Gross. And I know Indiana was good and they beat a lot of teams, but
that game was
they looked like they shouldn't even be on the same field as Indiana. And I was like, damn, we look like some sorry.
Yeah, I remember that game, Aiden Childs, when he scored a touchdown, and people on my Twitter was like, "Oh, what were you saying about Aiden Childs?" And then literally he started.
That was a great throw. That was about the only good thing in that game. But I actually remember doing the same thing. I was like, "Dang, that was a nice throw."
And then everybody's like, "Oh, well, my bad." I'm like, "Nah, talk that stuff." Look, bro, there's a common misconception with me that people think that I don't like Aiden Childs. No, I just call it how I see it. He has talent. There's clear talent with Aiden Childs. But I look at the numbers. 2,415 yards. That's okay. Your freshman year, it's perfectly okay. But then I look at 13 touchdowns to 11 interceptions, and then I look at how he has those interceptions.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's not good.
Yeah, the one thing I noticed.
Yeah, it's like bad interceptions. Like I remember the Maryland game, he trying to throw the ball away and threw it right to a defender. Like how?
And that was kind of the Maryland game was a great example of kind of who Aiden Childs was the entire season, because that was at that point in the season, like a very good road win early in the season. He throws 3 egregious picks, but also throws for like 400 yards and 4 touchdowns, and has all the plays in the game that pretty much won you the game, but you're also not in that situation unless he's not throwing the interception. So he was making up for it in that game, What I think messed him up is that those 11 interceptions were really front loaded in the first 5 games of the season. And then what I didn't like, what I saw after that is that he just got really gun shy. You saw his pass attempts, his yardage go down the rest of the season. So he clearly wasn't. He was he clearly doesn't think he has the ability to pick and choose his shots. He kind of either has to be throwing the ball all over the field or not. So yeah, I mean, he's clearly talented. So second year of his play will be I think a really good yardstick for the coaching staff, honestly, because there's a coaching staff out there that could get Aiden Childs to be a very good college quarterback.
Yeah, and I mean, look, like I said, man, I think the man's immensely talented. It's just up here. He got to fix up here. I like the fact that he can forget about a turnover. What I don't like is he'll forget about a turnover and act like he didn't do it and do it again. Okay,
right.
Learn, forget about it, and let's keep it progressing. Let's not forget about it and then do the same thing over and over again. If you can just get that aspect, I think Aiden Childs could be a very talented quarterback moving forward. It's just he has to stop the elementary mistakes, and that's what's really killing this offense. It didn't help either. Our rushing game was not good either. Kayvon Lynch-Adams, he could break some runs, but our rushing attack was not good. I got some numbers here. Kayvon Lynch-Adams, he was our leading rusher with 133 carries for 649 yards, only 2 touchdowns and 4.5 a carry. Not good. We ranked in rushing offense 110th in the country out of 133 teams. Not good. Not Spartan football.
Small up front. We're small up front. Yeah, very small.
That's true. But just not good. Red zone, we were 115th on offense. Also not good. 4th and 1 was very bad for us yet again. And it was shown in the FAU game of all games. FAU don't have a defense, and we could not convert against FAU. So that was a game that was really telling, unfortunately. 79th in passing, which is middle of the pack. Kind of what I expected. Good thing for MSU, Jack Vealing is a junior, so he'll be back. Hopefully he doesn't go to the draft, but I think he's
a really solid player.
Yeah, that's good. Nick Marsh, he's going to grow with Aiden Childs, so that's also good as well. Nick Marsh, our leading receiver, with 41 catches, 649 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Led in touchdowns and yards. Obviously, a great piece to have. My last stat I want to throw out there, we were -8 in turnovers. So we had 8 more turnovers than takeaways, which is not good. That's something definitely that has to change.
That's bad. That's a bad stat.
Yeah, so it's a lot. It's a lot that needs to be done by Jonathan Smith and the coaching staff. But really, for real, I think it's just growing. I think our issue, we were kind of young. The offense was young, led by a freshman quarterback. Our leading receiver is a freshman. Jack Vealing was a junior. That's not young, but I mean, he's playing with a young guy. I just think we just needed to grow. We needed the experience. We got the experience, and hopefully we can learn from the experience and grow to be a better team. Anything you want to throw out there?
Yeah, one question for you, and then a statement. But what did you? I also think that Nick Marsh hasn't really fully tapped into. Or I'm sorry, not Nick Marsh. Aiden Childs hasn't really tapped into his running game, particularly.
We'll bring it up
because
I agree.
Because I think that would open up a lot of his more offense in the passing game for him personally with him running the ball. I think he needs to bail a little quicker. I understand wanting to be a pocket passer, but he has a unique ability when he's out in the open field. And, you can develop your game while you do it in concert with that. But in college football, weapon X number 1 is a mobile quarterback. So it's and he has that ability. He really does have that ability to get out in the open field.
What was the Iowa game? We broke the 20-yard run and broke a couple tackles and made that spectacular play for a first down.
Yeah.
I think that was
Iowa.
Yeah,
he was making plays. Yeah, he had a couple runs like that. I do remember that game from Iowa where he could stop on a dime too. He's shifty.
Yeah, Aiden Childs definitely has the legs. He definitely does, and I definitely agree. I feel like we should be at least having some quarterback design runs or read options or something like that just to get the defense to think about his legs. I understand, like you said, you want to be a pocket passer. Cool. But if you have that ability, you have to use that ability so you can become more of a threat. You get the defense to ease off because they can't rush you a certain way because they know that you'll escape the pocket at any moment and become a threat. That allows you to sit back and become more of a pocket passer because, like I said, they can't just rush you recklessly. They have to rush to contain you.
I completely agree. I'm looking up a stat right now because I think that we are high in this. But, you know, when I look at like the coaching staff and year over year, this is obviously the first year of this coaching staff. What do you look at for like stats that you think are indicative of that are like coaching stats? Like one of the things I was going to do is look up where we were in penalty yardage last year too, because I felt like we had a lot of really bonehead penalties across the season. And that's what I look at like as like a stat that reflects coaching in a lot of ways. What are some other ones that you think you can think of?
So when I look at new coaching, I don't really look at stats. I look at like progression week by week. But it's kind of hard to do that when you have a guy who has never started before. He's a freshman, and it's just hard. So with Jonathan Smith, I would give him – this is like a mulligan year in my opinion. But like with other guys, if you got the guy you want, like for example, with what's his name? I think Jeff Braun at Louisville. He had this guy with Jack Plummer. He makes the ACC championship. I seen the explosive passing game. It's defense, but he got players that can get 20 yards. He had Jawar Jordan, Isaac Garendo, all those guys that can break for explosive plays. Then the same next year, you get your Isaac Brown, you get your Tyler Shuck, and you still have explosive plays. It's like, all right, cool. I see that you have a consistent offense. You got explosive guys no matter what. Isaac Brown, the freshman, absolutely had an extraordinary year. Ja'Cory Brooks had an extraordinary year. Colin Lacey barely played. He got hurt. I think they ended up redshirting him because of that so he could play next year. But the offense still didn't drop a beat. So I kind of use eye test more with coaching staffs. And if you show me progression, if you show me that, okay, we got a certain scheme and it works, I'll look at that. So for real, this would be my test year for Jonathan Smith. Last year, there was a lot of unknowns.
No, that's what I'm saying too. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm more so wondering, like, because I look at penalties as something that are for the most part self-inflicted and stuff that sometimes you can avoid. Like the thing that also concerns me, even though I do kind of still like Jonathan Smith, but what I'm like concerned about, you mentioned it, like short yardage 4th and 1 plays, how many times we got stuffed on those plays, because I feel like being able to gain a yard is something that you should be able to coach and get. Like if you can't gain a yard by running a ball and it's happening that consistently, like any team can draw up good plays and gain a yard. And that's why I kind of look at like coaching through that
like
lens.
Coaching.
Yeah, like situational coaching and stuff like that. So we'll see. I'm hopeful. I am kind of hopeful. I hope there's improvement. I hope. Yeah. I mean, who knows? I think they've had a decent-ish offseason in the portal with the O-line specifically, from what I've heard. But
4-star again today or whatever. I saw that.
Yeah. So I mean, that's good. So I mean, that's what we need. At least so they're focused in the right areas, I think.
We got somebody else too from the MAC. I can't remember who it is right now.
Some kid from Wyoming who was apparently a really good. I think it was Wyoming.
No, not an O-lineman. We got a skill position from the MAC.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't remember who it is right now. I think it was a receiver. I just can't remember who it is right now. But it was a guy I like too. I'm blanking on his name. But I think we'll be fine. We normally recruit well at MSU, and we normally develop players well. I think Jonathan Smith, he built up Oregon State. I think he'll do a good job with the talent pool at MSU that he has access to. Like I said, I'm more so on the hopeful side as you as well. I don't think that because of this year, oh man, we made the wrong move. Nah, he didn't do it as good as I wanted him to do, but we still showed some things that you can hang your hat on. Now defensively, I'm not gonna lie, I looked up some stats defensively, and I thought we was worse than what we were. Now some stats made sense, like our third down defense made absolute sense. We were 109th in the country. I actually thought it'd be worse than that, but we were 109th. That's pretty bad. Now, I saw we were 46 against the pass and 32nd against the run. Kind of confused me, but then it made sense when I found we were 85th in the red zone. I felt like we were worse than the pass than 46, but that's what the stats say, so I can't argue that.
I think maybe what it was is that we did turn the ball over a lot, and so if you look at it from a yardage standpoint, I feel like a lot of offenses with us are getting short fields probably. and maybe not, and they would still score points a lot of the time. But maybe that's why we're not as bad and like from a yardage standpoint, because we were turning the ball over a bunch.
Yeah, but I think that was also due in part to Dylan Tatum getting hurt. That was a big loss. I think that was like the first game of the year.
Yeah. Once again, I mean, like, I don't know what's in the water up there. You should know, you're the athletic trainer, but like,
no, put that day,
bro. Immediately, this happens like basically every year, where I feel like Michigan State has catastrophic injuries across the board to start like the season, and our secondary was decimated by like week 3. Like we had nobody left.
I liked Ed Woods. I did like Ed Woods. I was looking to see if he was coming back.
And Martinez, the freshman who got to play too. Like that's good stuff too, because like you get to develop players that you normally wouldn't be able to. But I think they played a lot better than anything that was expected of them.
Yeah, I do think that, but I don't know. I like you said, we were decimated by injuries. The offense didn't really help turn the ball over, and sometimes 3 and outs. Not being able to run the ball. I do think that the defense was subjective to offense most times, to be completely honest. But I think we do have room to grow. I had to recruit more. But I like our D coordinator. I think he came from Minnesota or something like that. So I do like our D coordinator. I forget his name right now, but I do like him.
No, I think he had high marks.
Yeah.
But cool. You want to go? You want to shift gears, or you got any final spots here?
Let's get out this sad season, man. We won't shift to MSU basketball up to this point. Now, MSU is currently 16-2, 8th in the country, 7-0 in Big Ten play, only undefeated in school in Big Ten play. Currently on an 11-game winning streak. They said that it's been since Trey Holloman entered the starting lineup. And before we say anything, you know me, I got to do this. Trey Holloman, I apologize. I've been probably your hardest critic since you got to MSU. Man, I'm just going to keep it a buck. You have been playing extraordinarily well. You've been helping Jeremy Fears orchestrate this offense. You do take bad threes still at times, and I wonder why. But you have been playing really well since you've been ejected into the starting lineup, and I have nothing but high praise for you so far. Another thing I believe that has helped us is moving Frankie Filer to the bench, and oh my God, he provides so much scoring off the bench for us. And my last X factor is Cohen Carr. Cohen Carr has been amazing, and he's actually knocking down free throws, which is very good to see.
Which is huge.
Yeah, very good to see. He be in that 3 spot sometimes, and I'd be like, swing it, and then I realize who's at that 3 spot. I'm like, dang, why is you? But he hit a huge corner 3 against Illinois.
That was big.
Huge. That was one of our 3 threes we made that game. If he could develop a 3-point shot or a shot period, he's going to easily be one of the best players in college basketball, in my opinion, because he's so hard you can't stop that athleticism. If he can shot fake, get you to jump, it's pretty much a wrap at whoever at the rim.
Man, and he manufactures 10.6 rebounds a game just off of his insane athleticism. And so if he can start putting that together with some sort of short game or like any sort of perimeter game, like it's over pretty much.
Sky's the limit. Yeah, sky's the limit. What game was that? We had that crazy rebound. It was like 2 weeks ago, I think. I want to say
it was at Northwestern.
Yeah, the Northwestern game.
I was at that game, and the crowd audibly gasped when he ran up for the rebound, because you're just like you're watching it at like court level, and he just looks like he comes off of a mini tramp, and his head is like over the rim, and he's grabbing the rebound. And
it looked regular for him.
I know, and it was just a rebound. It wasn't contested or anything, and the entire place was just like, oh my God. Yeah,
it was an insane rebound, but to him, he just made that look regular, like he just regularly do this, which he really does. I mean, man, athleticism is off the charts. But I do want to say this as well. Jaden Akins lead scorer with 13.9 points per game. Jeremy Fears leading assist man with 6.4, which honestly, Jeremy Fears being hurt, glad he's recovered from the bullet wound now. Last year might have been that might have hurt us more than we thought last year. Jeremy Fears, if he was doing this last year, like in terms of like running the offense off the bench, he might have made a tourney run for real.
Although I think it would have been hard to play with Tyson and AJ regardless. I know he'd be running different units, but I think they're they were hard to play with or just be around. I think AJ particularly. I think.
I was about to say it was going to probably be AJ, but I feel like he would probably calm down AJ when AJ get in that. You know how AJ get in that mode.
He wouldn't be taking anything from AJ either because Fears is a dog and every game pretty much.
And then I got to shout out two more people. Jackson Kolar, his offense has looked a lot better in my opinion. I didn't see Jackson Kolar face up and hit a jump shot. I was like, okay. I didn't see him hit somebody with a fake pivot lay. I didn't see Jackson Kolar do some things offensively that I've been kind of waiting on. And I also got to, I love his game. Carson Cooper and his activity, his defense and his rebounding. But I know a lot of people kill Carson Cooper. I feel like how I felt about Maddie last year is like he don't get as much as the praise as he should. I like Carson Cooper's activity, and when he's on the floor, to me, he's productive. He's
smart too.
Huh?
Smart. I think he's like a smart player.
Exactly. Like I know it's not going to look pretty with Carson Cooper. He's not going to give you a bunch of points. But I think, like you said, he's smart. His activity, and he is a guy that can score around the rim. I've been seeing him score around the rim a couple times. He can do it, but I think he knows his role, and I think that's why Izzo trusts him so much because he knows his role on the team. He knows he's not supposed to be the guy that's getting 7 to 10 shots. He's not going to average 10 points, but when you need him, he's there. I think he's been shooting the free throw pretty well, and like I said, his defense and activity around the rim is just, to me, it should be congratulated. So I'm going to be the one to shout out and give Carson Cooper his praise.
I mean, look, man, this Michigan State team, including Carson Cooper, there's 10 players at any point that I'm not afraid to have on the court, which is insane. Like you said, 16-2, 7-0 in the Big Ten. We only have one player averaging over 10 points.
Jaden, 13.9.
Which is crazy. Also shooting 29% from three, and now pretty much kind of not even shooting from three. Sometimes I wonder how we're scoring like 90 points a game still. It's kind of a weird group of guys, but it's the eliteness of the team, I think, is rooted in the guard play. We have 4 legitimate starters that can switch and swap and would start anywhere in the country. And they just are just a really unselfish group of guards. And as long as and I like the fact that Jaden is kind of leading the pack from a scoring perspective because it allows like Jeremy Fears just to be able to be an absolute dog on defense and be a true facilitator. Everybody seems to know their role. And it's a very interesting team. Also a very, very like to the core what Izzo usually likes to be out and running and out rebounding teams. And he seems to be really being able to get these guys to buy into the kind of the tried and true philosophy. It's going to be interesting though. The one thing, and maybe this isn't like a negative, but when we do, because we're obviously not going to go undefeated in the Big Ten. It's good that we got a 2-game lead at this point. We'll lose some games, but when we get closer into close games late in the season, I wonder who gets the ball just because we don't have like a true go-to guy. I guess it's Jaden at this point.
I was going to say Jace.
Yeah, and you know what? I could say, dude, honestly, like the way that Fears gets to the basket, I mean, he's not a shooter, but I'd be comfortable with Fears having the ball in his hands at the end of the game too. Yeah,
I was gonna say Jace. Maybe you can even throw Frankie in there. Frankie off the bench late game. He can go and create some offense.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, we are really deep. I don't remember us being this deep in a while to be.
Yeah, me neither. I don't remember Izzo playing 10 guys.
Yeah, we are a really deep basketball team.
10 guys, 15 or more minutes a game, which is crazy.
Yeah, because Zapala, who starts, I mean,
I like him too.
I think he still needs some work, though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, sure.
I do like him, but he kind of needs some work. But yeah,
we got a great game against Ohio State.
Huh?
He had a really good game against Ohio State that won us that game, pretty much.
Yeah, we technically got 4 because Cohen Carr, we use him as a 4-man, but we got 4 bigs. We rotate. We got 4 or 5 guards. We got Frankie. yeah, we're really deep. And I know you say I wonder how we score. I think we score defense leading the offense because we're really good defensively as well.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people were like, well, when y'all play Illinois, KJ, he was in foul trouble. He put himself in foul trouble, bro. A lot of people, this is what was irritating me. A lot of people was blaming the refs for KJ being in foul trouble. Bro, it was only one bad call on KJ. Literally one. And then, like, you look at his fouls at the games before, he was getting like 4, 3, 4. Like, bro, he's been fouling. Yeah. Like,
and then
tell
also,
him to stop fouling.
You know what? And then when you come back and then drop a game by 23 at home to Maryland in your next game, like, then stop talking. Honestly,
exactly.
Yeah, like just worry about. First of all, yeah, and also, I mean, the fouls, 20 fouls on Michigan State, 20 fouls on Illinois. Each of us shot 27 free throws. It was even.
Everything was even.
And yeah, I mean, there's bad calls like that, bro. We had to sit around and watch Teddy Valentine, all of us for 15 years, call these games. Glad he's out of the league, but man, we've all been subject to awful officiating in the Big Ten. I don't think that was anything outside the norm.
I don't even think it was bad officiating. And if I'm being a buck, I don't think it was bad officiating at all. I think Illinois fans were just.
I don't think it was outside the norm. That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought it was pretty normal Big Ten officiating, which is normally kind of bad in my opinion.
And then they don't even want to talk about Brad getting that tech. That cost you late game. He got a tech.
I know. Yeah, the bench got a tech. Yeah. So yeah, I completely agree. And then again, you come back and lose to Maryland at home by 21 points, which is not
exactly. And it's not like, let me see, because I watched that game. So Illinois did fight back, but every time they fought back, Maryland went on a run on their own, and then they blamed the refs for that game. Funny, I know, right?
Right.
Irony or oh no way. They blamed the refs for that. I'm like, no, every time that y'all made a run, y'all allowed Maryland to get out on the breaks and make layups. I watched that game.
Yeah.
Jacoby Gillespie and Rodney Rice was getting to the rim at will, and then they couldn't stop Derek Queen in the low post. So you really gonna blame the refs for that? No. And then on top of that,
yeah, I didn't get it either.
Y'all just got beat again.
Bro, yeah. I mean, dude, again, the defensive guard play from Michigan State. I mean, like, Fears had some of those guards in hell. I got towards the end of that game, really bad shots. So yeah, I mean, dude, and I will never apologize for a W either. So, but I mean, they are going into a gauntlet right now, Michigan State. After this game against Rutgers, which you got, these are the ones that you
gotta win.
You can easily lose these games. They have really talented players. On Rutgers' team, I'm kind of surprised of how their season's going. They have the talent to beat anybody in the country, so you better come out and win these games because in February they have an insane run of basketball games.
Oh, I got them right here for you.
Yeah,
USC with Eric Musselman.
Going out west. I don't care if it's USC or UCLA. You're taking children on a plane for 7 hours and going out to LA. You can lose any of those games, no matter who you're playing.
But that's a Saturday, so it's not a night game. It's a Saturday at 4:30, so 1:30 our time. Well, my time, 12:30 yours. UCLA, this is the night one. So we go USC, they're going to stay there. UCLA, 10 o'clock Tuesday night. So that's a quick turnaround right there. And UCLA is not a team to sneeze at, especially defensively.
No, they struggle, but they're good.
Oregon's a really good team. I say Dana Altman is the top coach in this game. I don't know if anybody's going to disagree with me. Dana Altman is one of the top coaches in this game.
I don't disagree with you at all.
Indiana at home. Good thing we're at home. Then we got Illinois on the road. Then we have Purdue. Purdue always got our number. And I just watched some of this Michigan game. They got some 7-footer that could shoot again.
When? I didn't see him to start the year. I didn't know they had a 7-footer.
Man, that's what I'm saying. I turned the game on. I'm like, hold on, who, bro? They got another 7'4" dude, and then he pop a 3 and make it. I said, oh, Matt painted and did it again. Oh, my God. So we got them. Then after Purdue, Michigan at the bread. Michigan on the road, at the Chrysler Center. Then we got Maryland and College Park. Another Chipotle Bowl. Please, Michigan State win so I can get my Chipotle. Then
Maryland's tough.
Wisconsin. Iowa, for who some reason Iowa has our number the past 2 years. I'm getting
I
sick
hate
and tired
playing
of that.
there. I hate playing there.
I'm getting tired of that. And then we finished the year at the Braves against Michigan. Gauntlet. It's gonna be tough to maintain this number one spot. It's gonna be a test for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll fare pretty well in that test. We definitely got to win our next two, Rutgers and Minnesota, especially because we already went in the barn and won. We got to win at the Braves. Now I saw somewhere that they were saying like Izzo's record at MSG is like 4-13 or whatever, but that's bad, maybe like tournament. Rutgers, like you said, talented but can't be beaten. Dylan Harper to me is the best, the number one draft pick. I'm saying it over Cooper Flag. I think he's the number one draft pick in this year's upcoming draft. Ace Bailey, he's also top 3, top 5. Now, it's funny. I've been saying, and I'm on record saying this, that I don't see it with Ace Bailey, but then every game that he has a big game I have something to do and miss it. So I got to be fair in that. So I'm gonna retract that for the moment because he had a big game last week with 30 points, and I wasn't able to see it because I had something to do. But I'm going to leave a question mark by Ace Bailey because there's talent there. I will say with Ace Bailey, one thing I don't like is he has what's the word I want to say? He tends to take bad shots at times. I will say that. But he is talented. I do see the talent. I do see the ability to bring the ball up the floor. He can go from rebounder, bring it up coast to coast, things like that. He needs to get stronger, which the NBA will do that for him. And I think he needs to develop a low post game because I don't really see too much of that. But he got the ability to put the ball in the basket. I will say that he has a perimeter game. Excuse me. I'll say that. He has a perimeter game. But yeah, like this is going to be a gauntlet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like starting out 9-0, you got to win. I think you got to start out 9-0 with these next two games in front of you. But then, you're feeling pretty good because then you're 18-2, 9-0 in the Big Ten. And then you don't have to, I'm trying to think. We'll probably drop a couple of these road games. Like Maryland's always a tough place to play.
Take that back. I got Chipotle on that game. Take that back.
Well, do you think we'll drop one of these games out in LA? I kind of feel like we might.
I think if we do drop one, I think it's UCLA. Because I think although USC is a good team, they do have they let people score. And I think we can score with USC. Also, USC is more of a second half team from what I've been noticing. Because even in that Wisconsin game, Wisconsin went up 15 and USC made it a ball game late. Wisconsin ended up winning that game. And then USC just beat Nebraska. Nebraska was in control of that game in the first half. And USC came storming back. I think they ended up winning by like 10. I think that was like on Tuesday. Let me double check that one. So I was watching that game as well. I do worry about USC in the second half of ball games, but I think we can win that one. The UCLA game, I think we can win too, but I think the turnaround is very quick. And like you said, we're out west. So 10 o'clock start time there, which is like 1 o'clock our time, midnight your time.
Yeah, that's why it kind of worries me just a little bit, but I mean, prospects look good. I mean, overall, just to wrap up, like
they won by 5, excuse me.
The very pleasantly surprised. I mean, I kind of had a feeling that this team could be deep. We didn't even talk about Xavier Booker. I'm still holding out hope. I've seen obviously more flashes from him and kind of see what the vision could be for him. I think he just has to somehow get stronger and be more aggressive. I think he's not aggressive because he's not strong. I think that's part of the issue. But, he's very talented. Like he clearly is very – I can kind of start seeing the talent because last year he just didn't get any tick. But, you can't complain starting out 16-2. Like, this has been if we were going to rate the start to the season, phenomenal start to the season. Exceeding expectations. The guard play is a very pleasant surprise. Like probably the best backcourt in the country, like across the board. Like I'm talking about deepness too. I'm not even one of them stands out. Like I'm just talking about like they have 4 starting
No, I feel like
D1
Marquette
guards.
and I
I
like
think.
UConn's backcourt too.
Yeah, I said one of the best. I mean, you can argue who's the best, but definitely one of the best in the country.
I got you. I'm leaving this comment up because I'm letting them soak over that 91-64 loss they just took tonight.
Yeah, I was wondering how long we were gonna leave that comment up.
Yeah, I just wanted him to see that so he can go peep the score and see him lose by almost 30 tonight. But shout out my uncle. But yeah, I do agree. I think, but this goes back to what I said before last year. Remember, we did our preseason show last year about MSU basketball, and I said for some reason, when we have expectations, we don't live up to them.
Yeah.
But when we have no expectations, that's when we do our best. And we were picked to be fifth in the Big Ten. We weren't expected to be 16-2 and 7-0 to this point.
No.
This is what we're doing now is what people projected us to be last year with Tyson, AJ, Jaden, and Malik Hall and all of them. That's what they expected last year. No expectation.
Man. I wish Tyson was on this team, honestly.
Boy. Shout out to Tyson, man, wherever you at, man.
Yeah. He was fun to watch, man. He was really fun to watch.
But I love it, man. I really do. I love when we're under the radar because that's when Izzo's at his best. And crazy enough, I still think that this team can get to another level. Like you said, Xavier Booker, he still needs to be more aggressive.
Bro.
I think Zapala still needs more work, but he's been playing well. And if Cohen Carr, man, he's developed the free throw. If he, like you said, if he could just develop a short game, like
he's clearly working on it. You can see it because last year he wasn't able to shoot free throws. He can shoot them very well this year.
Yeah.
And he's taken and made a couple threes at this point. So those are all things that he didn't show last year. And yeah, you're completely right. This team can go to another level because literally if we made 32% of our three-pointers, 33%, if we were just below average at three-point shooting, this team would look insane.
What were we like last in three-point efficiency in the Big Ten?
It's so bad. I feel like I haven't seen them hit a three in a month. I swear to God.
It's bad. It's really bad. But we still win the game, so we could just somehow turn it around. We didn't have games though where we were pretty efficient, but we could just consistently be efficient. Like you said, not even 40 because 40 is crazy, but like you said, 32.
Just be okay at it. Just be like all right. You don't even have to be that good. You just don't have to, you can't do. I think that that might be the one thing that might have to turn around in order for us to get to that next level. Is like we got to start hitting a couple more shots.
Yeah. All right. So now that you said that, right, I'm gonna ask you this question: what is the ceiling in terms of end of the year for MSU, and what do you think the floor is? Because I have mine, and I'm gonna let you ask the question, but I have mine.
I do wonder. It's one of those things that where I think at this point, 16-2, you'd have to lose pretty much like the majority of the rest of your games. But so I would say Michigan State's a lock for the NCAA tournament at this point.
I can agree. Because I ain't gonna lie, not to cut you off, sorry, but it's been some years where I didn't think we was gonna make it, and we made it.
No, I know it's good to know that. It's good to know, like in January now, that you're definitely gonna make the tournament. But so it's all about getting past the first weekend, and that's kind of a crapshoot in a lot of situations. But because of how deep we are, I kind of think that we can take teams into that deep water and just keep coming at teams with fresh bodies. Where we go from there, like I said, I think really depends on because we're clearly learning how to play without being able to hit threes at all. So I think we'll be more adept to being okay with not hitting threes. But I think in order to get across into that Final Four contention territory, we'll have to start hitting a couple more of these shots. And I'm talking about the ones that really should go down because we've had so many kickouts, double swings where there's just wide open 3-point shooters that are just hitting nothing but bricks. And so it's we got to start hitting at least the ones we're supposed to make.
Yeah.
That's my expectation. So I think we need to get out of the first weekend of the NCAA tournament and get to a Sweet 16 game, in my opinion.
All right, so my ceiling would be a Final Four team with a Big Ten championship. It's my ceiling because I do think we can win the Big Ten tournament. I think we can win the regular season. I think we can make it as far as the Final Four, depending upon the bracket. If we just get a crappy deal and we run up against like an Auburn or Alabama, sayonara. Yeah. But my floor, I think my floor is Sweet 16. I think my floor is a Sweet 16.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah. My floor is a Sweet 16 because I do think even with a crappy deal, we could beat the first round team, which you don't want to sleep on those because most of the first round teams are teams that are hot, that win a tournament, that win their conference tournament, and that's why they're in the tourney and they can creep up on you. But I think we can handle business in the first two rounds, and then take an L in the Sweet 16. But I'm just scared of teams like Iowa State, for example. Really good defensive team that got bucket getters and Curtis Jones and Keyshawn Gilbert.
Yeah.
I'm scared of teams like Alabama, who, while they don't really play defense, bro, they score with the best of them. Mark Sears, Grant Nelson, Philon, the freshman, Aiden Holloway, the Auburn transfer. They don't even have one of their guys in Latrell Wrightsell. He's another bucket getter. They're without him, the Cal State Fullerton transfer. They could just put up points with the best. I'm scared of teams like I said, Auburn. I don't know if Janai Broom's back. I got to look up that. Janai Broom got hurt in the game against South Carolina. Him to Tahad Pettiford, the freshman, who's been phenomenal. They got guys that can go score. And Auburn, they'll play some defense. And I'm not going to lie. I never thought I'd be okay with Kentucky winning ball games. But Mark Pope and those guys in Kentucky, Lamont Butler, and Lamont Butler on defense is scary.
Yeah.
He's one of the best defensive guards in the country. And then you got Kobe Bryant, the three-point assassin. You got Amari Williams patrolling the paint down low. And then Andrew Carr, who was a stretch four. Brandon Garrison off the bench when Amari Williams is off the floor. Kentucky's deep as well. I like Kentucky. So teams like that, the SEC, well, this is not an SEC show, but they're deep. The SEC is really deep. I'm not really scared of any ACC teams, like even Duke. Duke's a good team, but I'm not really scared of Duke. Like if we play them, I think it's a good game, obviously, but I'm not going into that like, oh my God, we got Duke.
I'm rooting for North Carolina the rest of the year. It's like we need that win to look a little better.
Look better, right? I feel you. I funny enough that you brought that up. I've kind of talked a UNC fan kind of off the ledge. He was talking about, man, I'm betting us not to make the tournament. I'm like, bro, chill. Y'all schedule was tough. Y'all didn't play Auburn, Alabama. Y'all didn't play us. Y'all didn't play really Dayton. Y'all didn't play.
They dropped two bad games recently, though, and I was kind of like,
I don't think the Wake Forest loss is bad at all.
Well, the Stanford loss at home is bad.
Stanford loss is the only one I think that's really bad. The Wake Forest one, I don't think that's bad. And
no, I know, but because you've lost those big games early in the season, I feel like you got.
Wake Forest is 7-1 in ACC play.
I know. I'm just saying. I personally, for my own self, would have liked to see them win that game.
I was actually rooting for Wake Forest. Shout out my boy Joe. I want Wake Forest to make the tournament. They haven't made the tournament in a while, and my boy Joe, you know, on the main show, he's a Wake Forest fan. I want him to finally see his team in the tournament. I think
that's fine. I never really liked Wake Forest. I got to be honest with you.
Hey, you already know what it is. We could definitely do that. I'm not scared of Kansas either. I know we lost to Kansas, but Kansas ain't been looking the same. Not scared of Kansas.
Why did we lose to Memphis too? That
game showed why we need to hit shots because we had open shots. They played good defense. I'm not gonna lie. They did play good defense, but that was a defensive battle. But we also did not hit shots.
Yeah, that was egregiously bad.
Yeah, and I think that's why. But Memphis is also a team where they start off really strong, and then later in the year, for some reason, they just don't look the same. They started off hot last year, and
they looked good against us. Like I didn't think we played particularly bad outside of not hitting shots, and I was like, damn, they kind of just like beat us,
dominated us. Yeah. I agree. I watched whatever I could on my way to the office from work, and but I just feel like they hit some crazy shots. Tyrese Hunter looked crazy in that game. And we just didn't consistently hit shots, and they played really good perimeter defense. But yeah, I'm not scared of a lot of teams in the country. So it's just a couple teams that I ain't gonna lie. We see them, it's like, ugh. Oof. I don't know about this one.
It's got to hit shots. I think we could be a really good team if we could hit some more shots. It's got to be someone other than Xavier Booker who's hitting threes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll take him if he's hitting them, but like, please, somebody else, please hit one.
Yeah. I think the guys that got to start making those is Jace and Jaden. Those are the two guys that got to start consistently hitting them.
Jaden's a good shooter too. We've seen it. We've seen him be a really good shooter. 2
years ago. And that turning run we lost to K-State.
Yeah, and I mean nobody was shooting very well last year, but he started to shoot better but like it's kind of one of those things where I'm monitoring this shooting problem because it was pretty much all last year too, like this. Not as bad, but then it's gotten worse this year, and I'm like, why can't we shoot? Like why aren't we not being able to hit shots? It's been a little bit of time now where we haven't been good at shooting.
Yeah, I'm perplexed too. I don't get it. Like, I just chalk it up to it is what it is at this point. That's what I mean.
Yeah, it's like one of those things that like they're not bad shoot. Like obviously they're in a college program. Like it can't be that fundamental. Like it's something in the air or something. I don't know.
It just is what it is, man. Hopefully one day the switch just flips and we start hitting them. But it's how basketball is, man. It's how it is. But we got a lot to look forward to with MSU basketball. Hopefully we can get a Big Ten regular season and tournament title. It's been a while. It's been a little while since we got
2018, 2019, I think. Yeah. Or 2020, we won the
regular season.
Regular season with cash. Yeah.
Tournament was canceled. But it's been a while. What? Illinois won. Who won last year? Was that Ohio State? Oh, Purdue. That's right. Ohio State made a deep run, but Purdue won.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess my laptop is telling me it's about time for us to cut this thing short. I'm charging my bag behind me.
It's been an honor, Carl.
Yes, sir. What? I'm back. Technical difficulties, but we back. We back. My computer just died like fast as a mug. Like it just said low. I was about to say, well, let's wrap this up, and boom, it died. Like that's a first. Normally be like 10%. It'd be like, wait, you still can't see me? My cam should be on. Is my camera on? You can hear me, right?
Yeah, I got you.
All right, you can see me?
Yeah, you just dipped and left me out here, and I was like, oh, man. I'm like a fish out of water. I have no idea what to do here.
It gave me the message. Normally, it give me like a 10% warning. It gave me the message. I'm like, all right, bet. Luke, any last words? And as soon as I say, all right, let's wrap it, cut off. I was like, what? But let's wrap this up. So, Luke, any last words?
Yeah, just a few. Just really great start to the season. A lot of hope. Michigan State's has once again kept me out of the depths of hell with sports in general. And Tom Izzo is my savior. So.
All right. My YouTube is behind. There we go. All right, now I can be seen on YouTube. All right, cool. I was monitoring on my YouTube. All right, bet. My last words. MSU. I love it so far, basketball wise. Yeah, good luck, Teddy. Good luck. I put it on mute on my phone and removed myself. I see I'm back, but appreciate you, my boy. Basketball, besides 3-point shooting, I really got nothing to complain about. We've been playing really well. Like Luke said, we have to get these next two. They have to be W's. We have a 2-game lead on Michigan and Purdue, but we do see Michigan twice. Obviously one at the Braves, one at Chrysler. We end at the Braves, so that's a good look there. We played Purdue once. Can we please finally beat Purdue? Please. I'm so tired of losing to these guys. Like, you don't understand. I've grown a disdain because I'm online I'm on the airways. I've grown a disdain for Purdue, but it's not like the whole Illinois fan base thing. Like, oh, they hate us. No, I grown a disdain because I'm tired of losing to y'all. Can we please beat y'all? I remember, what was that with Cash? I think that was like one Sunday. We had like Cash in them. We played on like a Sunday at like noon. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm about to go hoop, but this should be a good game. Man, the game was a blowout before I left the house.
Yeah, so, they blow people out in Mackey.
Yeah, it was at Mackey too. But please just beat Purdue. Let's get this Big Ten title, and let's make a run in the tournament. I know it's been a while for Cincinnati. I would love to see a natty.
Please, but, even for Izzo's health, like
man,
a natty.
I would love to see a natty. But MSU football, let's hit this portal. Let's hit this recruiting trail. Let's get a bowl game. Baby steps. I'm not expecting 10 wins. I would love to see 10 wins. I would love to see 9.
Let's get a bowl game.
Let's get a bowl game.
Yeah, let's get a bowl game. I would say if we can end there 8 or 9 wins, that would be an exceptional season. But let's try to play a bowl game.
I say 7-8. I'm cool with 7-8 in a bowl game.
Yeah.
I can pull up the schedule real quick. Because I think the schedule is released. 25 schedule. I know we play Boston College again. We gotta get them for you, my boy. You gotta have bragging rights in the crib.
I know.
So we play Western. That better be a W. Boston College right after that in East Lansing. So back-to-back home games. That gotta be a W. Youngstown State. So we could potentially start off 3-0. Oh, look at this, Teddy. USC is our first Big Ten game. USC at the Coliseum. Then we got Nebraska and Lincoln. Then we got UCLA, but at the crib. And Bloomington at Indiana. Michigan at Spartan Stadium, excuse me. Minnesota and Minneapolis. We have Penn State at the crib. Iowa, and then finish the year at Maryland. Oh, we don't have Ohio State this year. Oh my God. Thank God. So I can see us with 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, I think we could beat UCLA 5, 6. I can see us with 7, 8 wins. I can see us beating Western Michigan. I can see us beating Boston College. I can see us beating Youngstown State. Boston College just signed somebody at quarterback, and I'm blanking on who it was.
Castellanos?
No, he left. He went to Florida State. Oh, that's what it was. Yeah, he went to Florida State. I can see us beating SC because SC, well, they got what, Rob Ryan at defensive coordinator now? They better find some defense. Nebraska is going to be tough. I don't think we beat Nebraska and Lincoln. I can see us beating UCLA, though. UCLA better find some offense. Indiana, I don't see us beating Indiana. I can see us beating Michigan rivalry game in Spartan Stadium. It's going to be tougher, though, because they might have gotten a lot better on offense. We can beat Minnesota. I don't see us beating Penn State. I can see us beating Iowa because Iowa's losing Caleb Johnson. Even though I think Kamari Moulton will be the lead back next year, they better find some passing game. And I can see us beating Maryland. So that's 1, 2, 3. I think that's like 7, 8 wins. So 7, 8 wins is cool with me.
Let's do it.
Ada Childs will be there. And I'm betting Chipotle. I don't know. I might bet Chipotle on that game. I don't know about a shirt. I got enough Michigan State shirts. I'm pretty sure that's about us being y'all. Hey, Teddy, I think we can. I don't know. Who's y'all? Oh, it's going to be Jaden Maeva because Jaden Maeva is going to be a junior this year. It's coming up year. I don't know who y'all got at receiver, though. Who y'all got? Because I know Zach left. Zachariah Branch. I think Deuce Robinson, tight end. I think he left. Mekhi Lemon, I don't know if he's still there. Y'all got Lincoln Riley going to have to do some recruiting. But, yeah, that's my final words, man. Oh, I got to shout out my Pistons. Shout out my Pistons, man. 23-21 K All-Star. Vote my man for All-Star. Let him be an All-Star reserve. I'm so happy about my boys. I predicted us to win 30 to 35 games. We had 23. So, shout out my Pistons. Anything else you want to say before we wrap this up?
No, now we're talking about Pistons. I think that's where we need to stop.
Cool. All right, so thank y'all again for tuning in to this MSU episode. It's actually longer than I thought it would be, but man, it's fun talking about MSU basketball, which took up most of this segment. The MSU basketball segment was like 40 minutes. It's been fun to watch, fun to talk about, and hopefully it's going to be a fun ending note for MSU basketball. I will be doing a wrap-up episode like I did last year for MSU basketball, as well as South Carolina. South Carolina, please finally win an SEC game. I'm tired of leading games, late in ball games, and y'all keep finding ways to lose them, especially the Florida game. That was a bragging rights game, and y'all was leading the entire game, literally the whole game. And Will Richard, y'all 25 turnovers, and Will Richard layup later. We lose by 1 point. We should have beat Auburn.
I got one team to worry about.
Huh?
I'm glad I got one team to worry about.
Man, look, South Carolina basketball, football team did phenomenal. Lenore Sellers, Shane Beaman, all them guys, shout out to y'all. Even though they should have beat Illinois in the Citrus Bowl. But basketball is disappointment after disappointment this year. And it's not necessarily Lamont Perry's fault either. But that's all we got for y'all today. I will be back tomorrow to talk about Saturday's games. Dog of the week will be posted soon. I gotta look at the lines for that. I think I have mine already though. But yeah, just tune in tomorrow. Don't have a time, won't have a time, never do. Just tune in when I go live. And that's all I got for y'all today. And that's tomorrow. We're gone. Peace.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.